Hey everyone, this is Scott from the Scott to Girl podcast. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Today I'm going to be talking about Season 3, Episode 10. So I'm just going to be starting off with the plot summary and then just talking about different elements of this episode that I liked, along with some foreshadowing Easter eggs I might have noticed. So let's just start with that plot summary, which says, Fitz finds Daniels and convinces Ward that they need him to find the exit point from the alien planet. Max sends May and the Secret Warriors to find Simmons while he, Bobby, and Hunter infiltrate the castle and secure the portal room. Simmons escapes herself after Lincoln shuts down Hydra's power and discovers several Inhumans that Malik has gathered as an army, including Gardner. Simmons agrees to unleash Lash on Hydra before making her way to the others. Fitz and Daniels lead Ward to the ruins of an ancient civilization where they manage to get away, while Coulson catches up to Ward and overpowers him, forcing him to follow them. At the exit, Daniels attacks Fitz. Hive had killed Daniels as Simmons escaped and now inhabits his body. Ward attacks Coulson when he is distracted by Fitz, but Coulson uses his prosthetic hand to kill Ward while Fitz uses a flare gun to destroy Daniels' body. Fitz and Simmons return to Earth, but Hive secretly does as well, now inhabiting Ward's body. So that was the plot summary for this episode. I really enjoyed this episode because it's got that season finale type feel without being a complete season finale, that being it's the mid-season break, and I always enjoy this. I like when shows incorporate this, especially shows that have longer seasons, when they incorporate a kind of mini storyline for the first half of the season, and then we get another one for the second half. So I really enjoyed this episode for just the type of episode it is in general. But then what we get in it is just a whole lot of fun because we get a little bit more of the mythos behind on the alien planet. That the fact that Hive explains it to Fitz without him really being aware at first, but it helps kind of put the pieces together. So that was kind of interesting that there were these cities, and then Hive came. He tried to get along with them, but ended up just killing them all because he's got a crazy alien thing. He's a Hydra god or whatever. That's one thing I've always a little gray on, really a little confused about, what exactly he is. What is Hive? That's something I need to look up a little bit more. He becomes a squid head at some point. But anyways, yeah, I liked a bunch of the elements in this episode. The fact that a lot of it takes place on the alien planet, which just reminds me a little bit of back in the day when I watched Stargate SG-1, which was also filmed in Vancouver, which I believe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is also filmed in Vancouver, or the BC area. And so I was like, this reminds me of when they used to go out to the desert planets and then they just throw the filter over it. So that was just kind of cool homage in that way. Not that I don't think it's an intentional homage, just something in my memory I remembered of it. This episode. But yeah, some of the things that are kind of interesting about this episode, Fitz goes for Ward's gun at the beginning. I like that Fitz has gone from this, at the beginning of the show, Fitz would have never even thought about, trying to put himself in that situation. But now he's on this alien planet, and he's been through so much in these 3 seasons already. And at this point, he's just ready to do what he can. So he's he doesn't even think about it really. The fact that even if he got the gun, there's a bunch of Hydra guys. He just wanted to freaking take out Ward in that moment. And I like that little raw moment. We get a little bit. We get these glimpses of the dark side of Fitz that we get flashes of, which in the first season you don't really see much, and then the second season it starts to develop a little bit, but in this season I think it starts to really surface, especially with this one with Ward, and eventually I can't remember exactly what else through this season would do that, but eventually when we go to the framework in the few seasons, that's another part of it, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. There was a Coulson, when he first wakes up on the alien planet, it's oh, I'm on Tatooine, and it's love when they drop Star Wars references into it. And it's even more fun as a Star Wars reference because I'm oh, Star Wars and Marvel owned by the Disney Corporation, so that's just always fun too. So yeah, what else do I have written down? Oh, Lash kills all the Inhumans. I was just oh, yep. I remember this part I remember happening because as Simmons is letting Gardner out, I'm oh, Simmons, you didn't say not to kill the other Inhumans, and she just kind of left them there to be slaughtered by Lash. So, but I think it comes up that she feels guilty about that after this, but it still kind of sucks. Lash has gone that route. Well, not that Lash has gone that route, but that Simmons kind of let him out to go about that and kill all the Inhumans, and it sucks for the team because they obviously wanted to save the Inhumans, especially Daisy, because she obviously has that connection to them being Inhuman herself, and just feels almost responsible for them all, with her almost like, not that she, intentionally meant to destroy what her mother used to represent for Inhumans, but the fact that her mother didn't go about the nicest ways. So I feel like maybe Daisy feels a little responsible in that way. Well, I think she definitely does. I think the show kind of makes pretty clear that she does. But yeah, so that kind of just sucked for her. I don't know how to end that thought. Anyways, I'm going to move on to something else, which was, I like the flash that we got of the alien civilization on the planet. I thought it looked pretty cool. I like just imagining being like, ooh, what MCU race is this? How does this fit in? Is there a comic connection that I don't know about? Because I don't really read that many comics. But yeah, I just liked it. And just like I said, it also reminded me of my SG-1 days. I got to get that show again so I can rewatch that. But yeah, then we get to Fitz fighting against Hive, in a sense, who's inhabiting, what's his name, Daniel's body, which I thought was just like, again, like, wow, sorry. Again, Fitz's character just really stepping up here and like being this character that at the beginning of the show you would have never thought he would, stick up and try and like fight, but he goes for a few rounds with him and then ends up having to shoot him with a flare. So that was a cool little fight. And then Ward obviously versus Coulson. That gets dark, really dark, especially with the flash. They throw the flash in of Coulson seeing, Price having, a little flash of Price, and it's like, oh. And he kills Ward, and it's like, oh, it's dark. And him leaving his hand, just like really symbolic, kind of being like, I gotta leave this here. I can't bring this with me. But I also thought it was kind of funny that they do a great job with a lot of the effects in this show. But they didn't think to shorten his collar, because they, like, I know how they get away with these prosthetic hands. 90% of the time, he's just got a glove on. Like Greg Clark, the actor for the show, he's just wearing a glove, and they CGI some of it sometimes, and anytime they have to take it off, it's him holding a thing like this, right? And they made his sleeve extra long in this shot for when he takes his hand off and he goes walking, but he looks like he's in Back to the Future with the floppy arms like this. I'm like, you guys can snip that out? You didn't want to edit that? I just thought that was a little funny. It just really stuck out to me because, like, you can see his other arm and the fact that the sleeve stops here and then this other sleeve's just flapping. And it's just like, well, come on, guys. Come on. But, that's just a little thing I thought was a little funny. A little nitpick. I thought it was just a little... Because it was a little ridiculous to look at when I'll try to link the thing in here if I can find the shot. But it was just a little ridiculous to see. It's just like flopping in the wind. I'm definitely going to try and find it to link in over here. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny that they missed that. But yeah, and then I like how this episode ends with us seeing, Hive having inhabited Ward's dead body, and that, he sticks around for a little bit longer, even though he's not technically Ward anymore. But I really enjoy Hive's arc over the second half of this season, so I'm excited to get started on that. But yeah, that's everything I had for this episode. Be sure to let me know in the comments below if there was anything in particular that you liked about this episode, or any foreshadowing or Easter eggs I missed that you had noticed. But thanks again for joining me today, and have a good one.